I felt uneasy as I approached the secure dementia wing for the first time. It was chaos in isolation. Smells of medicines, antiseptics, bodily odours, flowers, urine and faeces. The strong smells took me the longest to get used to. Music alone shall live, music alone shall live, never to die.
It's a good one. You are good. Come here, come and sit.
I knew that in order to make music with these people who were living with dementia, I would have to come to terms with this cacophony of stimuli.
Hi, Nancy. Hello, Ray. Ray of sunshine.
And Ray is a ray of sunshine.
Hello, Tom. Nice to see you, Tom.
And Tom has a beautiful smile. I looked for ways to involve each person in creating the music, whether it was a look, a voice, a tap of a foot, a clap of a hand.
Running round and round the house, I say, la cucaracha, la cucaracha.
As we sang, played and moved together, there would be a twinkle in an eye, and smiles would spread between us and embrace a secure dementia wing. I would often leave feeling more positive and alive than when I had arrived.
Because her ways of doing music are very different to the traditional ways of doing music, and I thought this was... I thought it was a little bit strange, to be honest with you, at first, and thought, what's this all about? What's this going to help?
I was trained in something called creative music therapy, and I was inspired by that method in actually working with people and inviting them to join in with the music. That's when I'm doing my music, the music with people with dementia. I'm connecting with people, and so I've got to know each person. One person that I get a lot of joy from, her name's Barbara.
Hello to you, Barbara.
She's full of contradictions. She's very verbal. She has a wit, and she has a love of music.
Barbara, who she really does get into it, and I remember the first day that I came along, she was really grouchy, and she kept saying to me, I don't know why we do this, and I don't know what I'm doing here anyway, and why do they have to keep singing these damn songs?
She's got all the animals.
Okay. Because she said, do I know you? And I said, yes, you taught me a song.
We'll see you later.
And she said, I did teach you a song.
It's okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Mama is a beautiful singer. Has been singing all her life. And if she's singing around the house, it lifts me. Yeah. Not that I'm a rap song. No. I'm always cheery.
Or maybe go and sing to the animals, darling.
No. Got nothing kids.
All right, see you, sweetheart. Thank you, Norman. Barbara on the way to her abode. Agitated water calming with the sounds of music. Music that is just as important as God. Thank you very much. So why are people singing these old songs over and over anyway? Ah, so beautiful. Thank you for coming. Barbara didn't want to come to the music. As I sang from a distance, she looked my way. Her lips started moving and she joined me in song. She is great to have in a music-making group because she readily sings. With singing, she is animated. She directly interacts with others. She has things to say. She remembers words of the songs. She has comments to make about what is going on.
A lot of stars are stupid.
Are stupid.
Yes.
But do you like music?
And you're a lovely one too.
Oh, so stars under the sky,
Down there, are you?
never to die. Now, how's that one?
That's beautiful. You met Barbara's husband, Lil?
Yes, I love Lyle.
He's a lovely
He's going to give her the big deed of divorce and marry me. Lyle. Young Lyle.
Don't hold your breath, love, because there might be a murder before.
Yeah.
She can tell you the words of songs, tell you if you leave a word out. Can't remember. She can't remember that she was singing 10 minutes ago. That indicates the route to my abode. That's the words of that song. She taught them down there in Sea Wing.
I heard it was about an hour ago, and want to have a little nap? Expire.
Patiently, not permanently.
Oh, not
I like to go into the nearer presence of God.
Due to doing this music therapy program, we've actually noticed what a difference music therapy and music makes in the residents' lives. So we've actually incorporated a music program for every day of the week.
Fred and I have a lot of fun making music together.
Yeah, my father, Fred, has been in Sea Wing for about 2 years. He loves to sing.
Very few words, hardly any, he will say. But he'll also sing the words. But he sings in a great rush, and so it all comes out. So sometimes it's like a bolt of, like this bolt, like this comes out of his mouth when he sings, which, you know, it's like being at a rock concert, or, you know, these guys who sing today with all this great energy. It's just like that, so it's quite overpowering for people. When he's singing like that too, there are other people react in the group to that. And some people are a bit shocked, you know, whoa, and some try and stop him. So what's your favourite thing, Fred? What do you like the most? What do you enjoy doing? You know what I enjoy doing with you? Singing. Fred throws me a power full of sound. It's alive with his strength and frustration. Then he is off, scatting as I marvel at his melody, his grin from ear to ear, his cheeky release as another Powerball flies free and meets the song. He sits calmly again. So what sort of singing have you done in your life? Where did you grow up, Fred? Where did you grow up?
Joy?
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Where did that
Did you sing when you were a lad? Did you sing when you were young?
Yeah.
We're going to sing together this afternoon, Fred.
He was a TAFE teacher and he was really well loved. He's always getting the presents at the end of the year. The kids always loved him because he's a real tell all the stories, you know, all the stories from all his younger days. But just to see him not talk like that anymore was really sad to see. I used to do remedial maths teaching in the prisons, just to sit with him, say good day, and he always remembers me, but just I ask him too many questions. The music's really good.
We all respond to people when they connect with us, the care and interacting with them. But it's a really difficult thing, but to find a way to really connect with people who have dementia is not easy.
But music does.
Music does. So music is a way of connecting, but that's not the only way. There are some, and some people have more of a knack than others too, just in their personality and their humour. So it's interesting, if you go into a dementia wing and you step into their world, and music can do that, but also by just, some people can just sit there and listen and go on a creative journey with that person and enter whatever reality they're in, and then the connection can happen. But music definitely does it.
Yes, they are.
I go in and I invite them to sing and to make music with me.
Hey Fred! Hello!
The basis of it is them engaging and actually taking part in the music.
Hello, Nancy! Hey, you play the guitar! It's so good to be!
I would set about with the people in the dementia wing, creating a situation that would be the best possible one for people to make music together and to experience the benefits of making music with each other.
Music, music everywhere! Hello, sweetheart. Oh, I don't know. I'll just finish saying hello to everybody and then we'll see. Good afternoon.
As the approach I use with the music is a holding space as well. One of the aspects is actually like setting up a ritual, in effect, that people would then associate with making music and feeling secure and feeling held in the space. When I first would go into the dementia wing, when I first started doing the music therapy, I would just go into their open space and I would make music with them, with whoever was there, and people would come in and out, and we would, just by doing the music, it would create a space. And in the way I did it, I would always start with a song that was a beginning song, like singing hello to people and getting them to sing hello back, and we would create that song together. And at the end, we would sing goodbye to each other, so I would use a song that they knew, so that then we could interact with each other and sing goodbye to each other.
Hello, everybody. Oh, Robert. Hi, Robert. How you going? Oh, I thought I heard somebody clapping. That was you, huh? How are you? Just that. Okay. Oh. How are you today?
By the end, usually people are all sitting down and they're actually calmer and they're taking note of what's around them. And they will be listening to each other.
And I really don't know what else you can use to do that on a larger scale. By using the music, it is both a distraction, it can be a calming thing for them, it's an enjoyable thing, so it takes that angle away. Some of them just go to sleep, which helps too, of course, getting their rest. 15 residents that are sundowning, and you can bring them into a community music situation where you've got a smile on their face and they're not restless, then that's a huge benefit.
For people that are watching the movie that don't know those residents, a lot of those residents are really, we're talking end stage dementia, certainly with different dementing illnesses, and we know that. Whereas a lot of people that may watch this video would not know that these people are unable to do a thing for themselves, that you cannot have a conversation with, and yet they can recite an entire song and have a face with a smile on it, or tears, or obvious pleasure, or get up and dance where normally they'll wander aimlessly. Or get up and dance with their wife when that was probably the best moment I've had down on Seawing, was that I went down to watch a music therapy session, and there was a husband and wife. Well, the wife wasn't there at the time. The husband was. He was part of the group, and he started dancing. And then his wife walked in, and he recognised her and went straight over, grabbed her, and started dancing. That was worth $1 million. Oh, fantastic!
I first met Maureen this year.
Hello, Maureen.
She would be there in the music when I went to do music on a Saturday afternoon before I made this film. And she would just sit staring blankly.
Hello, Lee. We might sing together later.
She didn't respond. And then one day she looked at me and I made eye contact with her, and there was a smile there. Like, I'd start doing music and she would break into this great big smile. And she would, join in with the music with her foot and moving. And this happened for about the first month of shooting it. She would be smiling, and then one day she said something.
Yeah. You know what? I've got you.
It's hard for her to communicate through speech. It's a way of her to kind of show us that she still wants to have fun and, enjoy time with one another. So I think that the music for us of late has been an excellent way to enjoy our time here. It's a really good tool to actually get her just to settle a little bit, but on the other side of it, it's a good tool in which to actually really perk her up, make her happy. She gets her shoulders going, and it's really nice to see it.
She said some words that sounded like a particular song, and we sang the song that the person who was talking to her thought that she'd said, and that was the song that she really liked, and she broke out into a great big smile, and she ended up dancing. Maureen's eyes fill with light as she smiles. Her being is music. She comes out of her isolation into melody, into island and dance. She moves with the rhythm, a huge smile drawing us to her heart. Now, this happened before I talked with her daughter. And when I talked with her daughter, I found out that music was a big part of her life. And that still, her daughter would take her home and they would put on all their music from the 50s and 60s. Popular music, and they would have her up dancing.
Thank you, Maureen. That was beautiful.
A time where we were listening to Cliff Richard in her room, and I was just so shocked because she actually started jumping up and down like she was back at one of his concerts.
Music is a key to things happening for people, and things that they've been holding inside them coming out, hence the can of worms. Because it does trigger off joy, as well as all the tears, as well as experiences. So music triggers off their memories as well. Apparently music and smells are the two things that all of us respond to, or that trigger off memories for us and experiences for us. So it's interesting that we're talking about doing it with dementia, but actually it's the same for everybody.
I'm waiting. Barbara, if you have one pop into your head, let me know. Right, we're waiting for something to pop. Fred, have you got a song in your head, darling? We're waiting for one to pop in. Where is the song? Pop. Who's got a song? That's a good one. Have you got a song? Have you got one?
Budget.
Have you got a pop song? Maybe. Have you got a song?
Budget.
If I get dementia and I go into dementia wing, I want to sing the Beatles. But also there'd be songs that my grandmother used to sing to me. So some of the songs that I sing, I learnt through Jane, through my grandmother.
What the song was? Would you like Blue Moon, darling? Would you like Blue Moon?
Yeah.
Do I have a bony bone?
Win. Now, if you like it.
It doesn't cure dementia. So things like music and art and all these things, it's not about curing. It's about giving people some joy and experience of sharing their lives with others, and being in a place that's peaceful and happy. And healing does happen from a place where people are happy and peaceful, but not a curing of the disease. I mean, with dementia, what seems to happen is that the parts of the brain are destroyed through different kinds of dementia. So what's gone can't come back. But then again, there's something called neuroplasticity that people are talking about now, and there's a great surge of interest in the workings of the nervous system and the brain.
Neuroplasticity describes the ability of the brain to change its own structure and function through thought and activity. It applies to everyone at any age.
The brain does recreate pathways. We used to think that it decreased as we got older. Well, yeah, it does decrease as we get older, but actually it's still there. The potential is still there for neuroplasticity. And so music is one way to help the brain create new pathways. I first met Robert in 2010. I met him with his wife Gloria, who came often to the music sessions.
He never misses out on a music program.
Despite not having a musical background, although he used to whistle, Robert claps continuously. He just really gets into the music. Yeah. And if I really wanted to get everyone, with energy flowing, well, I just have to rely on Robert to have a good old clap and we'd get everybody moving along. We were communicating. It was a way for me to really tune into the particular song and the feeling behind the song and support him in the way he clapped. So it was interesting. I would be singing a quiet song, and so I'd encourage him to sing quietly. We were both learning about the song through the way he clapped. He's really living very much in his interactions in the moment, which is not a bad thing. However, because he gets irritated by what's going on around him, and because he's also trying to protect the people that he feels connected with in the environment, then he gets aggressive. So he can, that you have to watch out for that aggression.
Robert claps loudly. He's right into the rhythm of the moment. Then, hearing a male in his territory, he's ready and verbal, responding with bursts of energy. Then, joining the song with hands and feet, he carries the mood, engaging and protecting in the music.
Yeah, because of the music, see?
Yeah, I know, he's good at it too.
If you or Richard's around.
Yeah, Robert.
Oh, look at my mate here.
Yeah, mate.
He's got me out of this.
Yeah, he's such a good fellow. I used to give him a hug. He chats very amiably with me too, although he cannot remember minutes before we talk.
Well, everybody seems to know.
So it probably happened. Which is interesting. So a few times I had conversations with him about how wonderful everything was, but then really I didn't know, and he didn't know really what we were talking about, but we had a good time together. No, they fly by so quick, don't they?
My head doesn't hold it.
No. It's great having you here though. I really like having you here when we make music.
Well, it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not telling the truth, and somebody's got to put up with it. It goes on though.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. You knew. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll have you sing up and singing and dancing next time.
Thanks. You want me to carry that?
No, it's right. It fits on my back real easy. It's okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. So I think your tea's up here now. No, it's light stuff. It's light stuff. At the beginning of the session, Quite often I'll go in and there's quite a lot of chaos around.
People are isolated, disorientated, frustrated, confused, wandering, immobilised, calling out. So I step in and establish a ritual of music making. This includes the place, how we are in that place, the people, the time, the structure of the session, and the songs we sing.
You're welcome.
The selection of music is always good because it's the music is selected basically for where the people are at. If it's a little bit, if the people are a little bit up in the air, well, some nice, softer, slower music to just bring them down. Or if they're sort of in the half asleep mode, well, the music and the tempo is lifted up a bit, and it's good. And they like it because they can sing along with it.
In choosing the music in the moment, I'm responding to each person's mood and interests to enable us to connect with ourselves and each other.
So on one hand, music opens up and allows frustrations to be expressed, and on the other hand, it calms everything down. So I'm there in between this, but I'm also connecting with them and I'm joining them in whatever they're expressing. So the music is a powerful tool to be able to do that.
Come on here. Stick a match in as soon as you like it.
Suprati is from Indonesia. She often came to the music and seemed happy enough but didn't join in. Then one day there was a carer there who knew Indonesian.
She talked a bit to her in Indonesian and I asked her what they were saying and she said, oh, she's asking where her husband is. So I sang an Indonesian song with her. She broke into a great big smile. We all sang the song together.
It was just really great because I had seen such a transformation, and it was through that space of that music session that at the beginning she was disorientated and didn't know where she was or who she was, and within 20 minutes she knew it all and was totally engaging, and you should have seen her, she starts moving her hands around and tapping and
After I've been into a dementia wing and I've created music with people, I often come out feeling more alive and peaceful and joyful than when I'd gone in.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you.
That's okay. Well, we can go and sing some songs through here then.
One of the most successful things that I can recall is the choir that consisted of mostly of residents of the dementia specific wing. Some even had lost their ability to converse, like have a conversation or tell you things or ask things, but when it came to singing, that was something that they could still do very well. To see the enjoyment that people got out of that, of being still able to express themselves so well when they'd actually lost other parts of their language, was really quite moving and very, it gave you a good feeling.
Music will be a catalyst for opening up people's memories. And then it can be a springboard for sharing those memories because they become more lucid as well, and sometimes can actually talk about the experiences. When I play music with people who haven't got dementia, then it's not nearly so spontaneous. Music offers a window of opportunity for people, which happens as they remember and as they share. Music also is found to stimulate the brain, and the music goes through all the parts of the nervous system. It's not just isolated in particular places in the brain.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah, definitely.
Being active in the present with music has great potential for triggering the release of endorphins and changes by neuroplasticity. People now are trying to live in the present. That's a whole spiritual practice too, to live in the present and embrace the present, and through doing that become enlightened.
I'm really pleased to be here, and with the picture that's being portrayed and everything else that's just jumping off the cliff.
Dawn came to Jindalee in a very bad way.
She actually rescued my mother from the mental health hospital, because when my mum came here, she was on 42 tablets a day.
She was accepted at Jindalee and she started coming to the music, and straight away she would jump right into the music and she would sing with me. She knew lots of songs, and the other residents recognised that she knew the songs. A few people would actually say, oh, she knows all the words, which she seemed to. At a few sessions when I had other instruments, she would play the xylophone and she would sing at the same time. I mean, huge really. So also she became much happier through singing the music, and she loved the music sessions.
Do you remember when you first heard that song?
Yes.
You do? Can you want to tell us about it?
It was a disaster.
It was a disaster, was it?
Yes.
Really? Oh no, where were you? Where were you?
Oh, we were just here.
Oh, well, I think we did a good job that time.
What do you love about the music sessions, Mum?
Oh, I just feel really me, you know. That's when I sort of come alive. Yeah.
People are just busy trying to get all their work done, and they're not actually with them in that moment. Yes, there's music there, and yes, he's singing all the songs, but the fact is he's not necessarily with them there in that moment. He's doing a job, and there is a difference. And the fact that you're a trained music therapist, I suggest you bring that with you. It's not just the music.
Anyone can enjoy it. You still need a therapist's knowledge of what music can actually do for people, and Alki has been a driving force for that, for ensuring that music is always considered a very important part of an individual resident's program.
I've been present where people have died, and I've had the privilege of being able to play music with them and with the families around. And I've seen the music, or us making music, calm people right down before they die.
My mother went into dementia unit. We'd been looking after her for a long while, but we couldn't care for her anymore in the way she needed to be cared for. We sang on off and on to her for 2 days. And she reminisced, she sang with us when she could get her breath. I would sit with her and I would say, remember Dad used to sing this, and she'd say, oh yes, I remember that.
We even learnt some Welsh songs, which was Welsh, and she told us that we were singing them incorrectly. She said that's the wrong accent.
She was 97, she was quite dementiated by the end, and but the recall of that time, of her, all the stories, even her father, who used to dance on the slate floor in their home in Wales and sing to her as a child, all those memories came rushing back. It was just a wonderful time. For me, it was the most rewarding thing. the sister at the nursing home said to myself, "Oh," she said, "that was a wonderful death." She said, "Your mother died the most peaceful death I had remembered."
She grew closer to her mum, in the essence of her mum, and closer to herself by this journey with her mother who had dementia.
At that time, we were having a big blitz on, if that's the word, on falls and falls prevention, and managing people who do fall, because people are going to fall regardless in this population. There isn't anything you can do about that, but you can minimise their harm. And one of the things in looking at those patterns and trends that appeared evident, and it was also noted by our physiotherapist, that after music therapy sessions there appeared to be a drop in falls rates, and we could demonstrate that on 2 days of the week. Now, why that pattern would be there, we couldn't attribute to anything else. It looked like it was definitely tied to people having participated in music therapy sessions in the morning. These people felt stimulated by that activity, and this assisted them with their movement in the afternoon. They felt more relaxed, they were less agitated perhaps. We don't exactly know why, but there appeared to be this correlation.
Would you like to come and sing with us today?
I like to hear the birds sing.
Hear the birds sing. Ah, sunshine lady, you're beautiful. All right, I'll come back and get you, okay? All righty, let's go. Hello, Daphne.
In this aged care facility, there are some couples, and 2 of the couples took part in this program. And one of the couples, the gentleman, didn't actually live in the secure dementia wing, and his wife did live in the secure dementia wing.
So, would you like to come to music? We'll go around there and make some music today?
Well, yeah.
We'll pretend we're working on the plane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was the truth in her eyes ever gleaming that made me love Mary the Rose?
Wonderful for all of us to be there with both of them singing the music, because they connected together in singing together.
Thank you, Norman. Thank you for singing with me, darling. It's a special song for you both, yeah?
The pale moon was rising above the green mountain. The sun was...
So Jim and Sheila is the other couple that has taken part in this program of singing in the aged care facility, and they come together with their daughter to the music session. And they are both in laid-back chairs, so they're immobilised. They can't move around themselves anymore, so they have to be brought in these chairs. And as they take part in the music, they sing along. Particularly the wife will sing, and he will smile.
Sheila and my dad Jim both live here, and they've been coming to the sing-along sessions. Dad has no communication at all, but he really likes the music, and at the end of some songs he'll tap his leg like this to clap. But my mum really loves it. She knows the words to everything. Yeah. She's always loved singing. Yeah, they both come along.
Harry is a happy soul who is living with dementia.
Harry! Yes. Good afternoon. Oh, what a lovely sunny spot. You're a film star already.
Oh, am I? Oh.
So, I thought you might like to...
Do what?
come and sing.
Sing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
When?
Let's go.
Down.
We're down in the down in the living room today.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh,
sing your favourite song, Harry.
What's that? Show me the way to go home.
No, I'm just wild.
Oh, that one.
He's not worried by his dementia, but he can't remember from 1 minute to the next. But when you sing, he's got a rush of memories that he shares with people.
Where are we going?
We're going down to the main, just to the living room area here.
What's down there?
We're going to sing a song together.
You and I.
You and I.
You and I together.
That's the end. We want the beginning. The beginning.
Once a jolly swagman can buy a bill.
Once a jolly swagman can buy a bill under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited to his little boy. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Well, we had that story really beautifully, didn't it? That was lovely. Thank you, Harry. Oh, that's a good song to greet everybody.
That was the hour when I say goodbye.
You want to do that?
Yeah, we were singing leaving Sydney to go to the war. Yeah.
And what did you do when you came back once the war ended?
I stayed in the war. We went in the occupation force in Japan.
Right. Whereabouts?
Various places. Tokyo. We had to show the Japs that they'd lost. No, it's true, that's what they did. And,
she played Old Lang Syne, and that opened up a window for, you know, definitely the men, being Frank and Harry, who had been in the war.
yeah, well, the story went that their emperor or whatever he was said to them, now look, be nice to them and they'll go away soon.
And did it work?
And he sort of lit up, but he was sort of half tearful too, and he said it's about old time. And to him, it related to war time.
Oh, we got on well with the Japanese people. They're nice people. Yeah, the war's a bad thing. No good.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing your story with me.
Oh.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
Now is the hour when we must say goodbye. Soon we'll be sailing far across the sea. While you're away, oh please remember me. When you return, you'll find me waiting here.
You know a lot of songs.
Oh, well, you only live once.